Hello, I'm Scott Finch, principal of Hebron High School. Seniors, please remain standing and join me in welcoming Hebron High School's senior class president and the senior with the most infectious laugh, Miss Nee Pham.
Thank you, Mr. Finch, for your kind words and honorable leadership. It's not easy carrying the weight of Hebron High School on your shoulders. It is a two-story building, after all. Thank you, faculty, for enlightening our young, impressionable minds with the knowledge and skill sets necessary for our future success. We students are carbon copies of your wisdom and intellect, so hopefully what you've taught us over the past 4 years was not made up. And this includes the atom, which I'm still not entirely convinced about. If I can't see it with my own eyes, it's probably fictional. And thank you, parents, for making this very day possible with your nearly 2 decades of unwavering support, both financial and emotional. It's not easy carrying bundles of teenage angst and hormones on your shoulders either, let alone provide for them, or love them unconditionally for that matter. And graduates, welcome to your high school commencement. The Hebron class of 2018 is an extraordinarily talented, funny, and caring group of individuals. If you don't believe me, just look at how many times we've gone viral on Twitter for our Silver Wings performances, or for starting a mini barbershop in the boys' bathroom that one week. We're internet icons, baby! But aside from that, we're a group of high-achieving young adults who have managed to balance football practice with late-night study sessions, band rehearsals with AP classes, part-time jobs with Fortnite. I sincerely hope, graduates, when you reflect upon the last 4 years of your lives, that you do not resent high school for all of the precious sleep it may have stolen from you, for all of the stress it may have inflicted upon you, or for all of the heartbreak it may have caused you. Because heartbreak builds character, stress builds endurance, and time spent sleeping is time that could be spent pursuing your passion, working towards self-improvement, or simply telling your parents you love them. And finally, I hope, graduates, that you look back on high school fondly for introducing you to your best friend in freshman biology, or for giving you that one teacher who not only saw your potential, but also reminded you of the great capacity you hold inside. Now, please remain standing, and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the presentation of colors by the Navy Junior ROTC Color Guard and the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner by the Hebron High School Band. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, please join me in welcoming to the podium The man whom I texted in March when I discovered we were going to the same college, college friends for life, and who left that message unread, the debate god himself, Mr. Andrew Nguyen.
If you've ever talked to Neve for more than 5 minutes, you would know why I never text her back. Well, congratulations, everyone. We're about to become high school graduates, drastically decreasing the chances we'll spend the rest of our lives in prison. This moment is the pinnacle of 12 years of hard work. Many of you will remember high school as the best time of your life. For you, I offer my pity and my condolences. Some of us are headed to college. Some are going into the military or the workforce. Still others are destined for their mom's basement. No matter your final destination, the journey you are about to embark on is going to be challenging, even dangerous. Soon you will be surrounded by people with no ID cards, any one of whom could be a sociopath, a drug dealer, or a Fortnite player. No matter how you decide to work and play throughout the course of your life, always remember the most important lesson Hebron has taught us: stranger danger. There are going to be a few people speaking at this ceremony who will give you some insight into our journey beyond high school. When the administration needed somebody to introduce the other students, they chose me to give the opening remarks. At this point, you can probably tell that was a big mistake. I know basically nothing about any of them, including their names, so I'm just going to hand it over to our principal to do the job I was supposed to. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Finch.
Thank you, Andrew. We picked the right person, Andrew. At this time, I would like to invite the senior band members to take their place with the band in the back. Now I would like to introduce our honored guests on stage and in the front row on the Coliseum floor. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been made for each group. Honored guests, when called, please refrain from standing. Remain standing until all members of your group have been introduced. After receiving your applause, each group may be seated. Our first group to recognize is our distinguished school board. President, Mrs. Angie Cox. Vice President, Mrs. Kronda Timish. Secretary, Mrs. Catherine Sells. Trustee, Mrs. Christy Hassett. Trustee, Mrs. Allison Lasan. Trustee, Mr. Tracy Scott Miller. Trustee, Mrs. Jenny Prosnick. And Trustee, Mrs. Tricia Sheffield. Please give our trustees a warm round of applause. Next is the district's impressive leadership team. First, I want to recognize Deputy Superintendent Dr. Lori Rapp, Chief Financial Officer Mr. Michael Ball, Chief Communications Officer Amanda Brim, Chief of Schools Officer Dr. Joseph Coburn, Chief of Technology Officer Mr. Brian Colbeck, Assistant Superintendent over Employee Services Dr. Buddy Bonner, Assistant Chief of Schools Lori Litchfield, and General Counsel Mr. Jeff Crownover. How about a hand for this group? Next is the leadership team of Hebron High School. The principal of the Hebron High School 9th grade campus and the always energetic Mrs. Amanda Wernicke. Hebron High School's assistant principals Mr. Jacob Garlinger, Mrs. Deanna Gertie, Mrs. Shonda LaRock, Ms. Sandra Lee, Mr. Brian McCoo, Mrs. Amy Hobenhouse, Mrs. Vanessa Robichaux, and Mr. Richard Selsteed. And lastly, Hebron High School's lead counselor, Mrs. Tracy Schinkel. Please give a warm welcome to the leadership of Hebron High School. Next are our most prominent seniors, Valedictorian Anthony Allam, and Salutatorian Jonathan Thomas. Give a hand for these two men. Next, seated below me and in the front row are 11 of the best principals in the state. They are principals of our Hebron feeder schools, and I'm glad to call them colleagues. First, Arbor Creek Middle School Principal, Mrs. Joni Finch. Creek Valley Middle School Principal, Mrs. Stephanie Webb. Killian Middle School Principal, Mrs. Deanne Angonia. Coyote Ridge Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Paget Cervantes. Pulsar Elementary School Principal, Mr. Adam Gray. Tom Hicks Elementary School Principal, Mr. Curtis Martin. Hebron Valley Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Tina Kroll. Homestead Elementary School Principal, Mr. Sean Perry. Castle Hills Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Donna Taylor. Indian Creek Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Amy Teddy. And Independence Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Teddy Winslow. Please give these principals a hand. And lastly, he stands alone as the leader of our school district. He is the superintendent of our schools for LISD. Would you please welcome the Honorable Dr. Kevin Rogers. Next, we invite you to enjoy Hebron High School's award-winning band playing March of the Resistance, followed by our salutatorian, the intelligent and personable Mr. Jonathan Thomas.
If I'm going to be honest with everyone, I'm so nervous right now. Nervous to the point that I even resorted to WikiHow before the ceremony and decided to try one strategy and picture everyone naked. Instead, I've just become more uncomfortable once I saw Mr. Finch. Thank you, Mr. Seeley and that band for that phenomenal performance. At this time, I invite the choir to take their place on the risers. Dear parents, family, faculty, and fellow graduating seniors, Demario Montes, Andy Brown, Brandon Pham, Jen, Josh, Raul, Arpan, Sammy, Sham, and Aman, congratulations, you made it into my speech. Class of 2018, today is an exciting day for all of us, being in front of friends and family, ready to walk the stage as high schoolers one last time. I'm a lucky man today for two reasons. One, it is actually my mom's birthday today, so Mommy, happy birthday. Can we get a round of applause? Secondly, I never got the time to buy you a gift, so luckily this speech can serve as a double purpose. When I first learned that I had to say a speech to my classmates, I wasn't too excited. Being tasked to talk about academics, life lessons, and the personal friendships we have acquired during our 4 years in high school, I felt the administration was determined for me to deliver one of history's worst and most dull speeches. The good thing for me, though, is that the standards for this speech are set pretty low, considering some of you may zone out during this portion. But in the few minutes I do have your attention, I first want to make sure that I congratulate everyone, including myself, for being here today. We live in a world plagued with many dangers: AIDS, global warming, Trump. Yet despite the odds, we still found a way to make it to the stage here tonight. And for that, let's give it. Let us recall our great moments in that building we have called our homes for the past 4 years, Hebron High School, the greatest high school in Carrollton, LISD, and the greater Dallas area metroplex. As we remember back, we realized that we possess so much perseverance to succeed in what we do. We figured out how to handle getting our third, fourth, and fifth tardies in the same week. We figured out how to handle finishing an assignment due by the next class period. We figured out how to handle getting rejected by your crush 1 time, 2 times, getting blocked by your crush. Yes, I'm looking at you, Rachel. I'm just kidding. But I guess some would say I was looking forward to graduation for a clean slate into college. But in all seriousness, we have persevered through all our difficulties, no matter what was put before us. In the same manner, reflecting upon our times at Hebron, we realize we also have the ability to succeed no matter how long it may take us. Yes, it may have taken us some time to perfect the parent excuse notes. Yes, it may have taken us some time. It may have taken us 2 or 3 attempts to get that 70 on a test. However, even the greatest take many attempts to succeed at something. It took Albert Einstein, the world's second greatest person after Kanye, 1 billion of times to come up with such a simple equation, E = mc squared. And how many times did LeBron James and Kevin Durant have to switch teams before finally being able to win a championship? And look at the dozens of mixtapes and failed songs Block Boy JB had to release before he could finally shoot the right way. Yes, we may not succeed at our first try, but we all have it in us to succeed eventually in what we do. Street poet and philosopher Drake once said, "Oh well, I guess you lose some and win some, long as the outcome is income. You know I want it all, and then some." While we may deal with some failures in our lives, we ultimately know we will be able to accomplish any goals we set ourselves to because we have the perseverance to see through our problems. Thus, I can continue on speaking about how we need to continue this perseverance in our future, but I'm confident that we will obtain success on what we fix our eyes on. In fact, as a prominent hip-hop musician once said, "We the best." Rather, I want this speech to send a message that is really needed in the face of how society is turning out to be. It may seem like the world around us is getting crazy, but I believe we are just attacking life too quickly. Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. When we enjoy our successes in the future, let's take a moment to let it all soak in. Remember the family members that helped you accomplish your goals, your friends that accompany you along the way, and the teachers and mentors who guided you throughout your journey. Shout out to my family, my extended family who came out here tonight. Shout out to Isaac, Rashul, Alex, Sean, Navatesh, Shally, Madison, Muhammad, Eddie, James, and Kirsten for always being there as a friend. Shout out to all the teachers, especially Mr. Smith, Ms. Bowen, Ms. O'Brien, and Mr. Willard, who have been there for the past 4 years of our high school career. And Quizlet, we can't stress it enough, but we thank you for always being there. Class of 2018, if there's one message I can impart on you today, I want you to remember to be humble and thankful for the small things in your life. Sometimes you may just have to take 3 steps backward to go 5 steps forward. In any case, be appreciative of the situation you are in, never taking anything for granted, and value every aspect of your life. Class of 2018, I know we are destined for success. We have the perseverance to face any problem, and we possess the capability for greatness. Thank you. I'll see you at the reunion. And now please welcome the Hebron High School a cappella choir as they sing A Million Dreams, followed by a speech by the stunning and swole valedictorian, Mr. Anthony Alam.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind.
I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design.
'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away.
Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along.
Joe, I better hope that WikiHow works better for me than it did for you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our staff and administration here, family, friends, and of course to you, my fellow graduates. Before I begin, I would like to apologize for the many Fortnite references I'll be using tonight, but I only see this as fitting considering the countless nights I spent on the grind. We all arrived at high school, starry and eager-eyed, ready to conquer the map and get that dub. Well, class of 2018, congratulations. We made it. We earned that victory royale. What we choose to do from here on out is our choice and ours alone. We all started high school in a different part of the map, with different ambitions, goals, and classes, but here we are together at the end of our journey, ready to embark on the next phase of life. Freshman year started off like a landing in Tilted Towers. Chaotic, fast-paced, and unpredictable. We were suddenly thrown into a battlefield with a pickaxe and told to carve our own future. We learned the struggles of taking an AP class, the feeling of pulling an all-nighter working, the disappointment after getting rejected, the excitement before the first ranks came out, the alarm of our school supposedly burning, the adrenaline rush of witnessing a fight, and the sheer relief of hearing the 3:35 bell ring. Freshman year was filled with new and novel experiences. However, as with all things good, it came to an end. As sophomore year started, the storm closed in. Friendships grew, and the class of 2018 became emotionally closer. We became more rebellious and started to learn how to handle getting a couple detentions here and there, and maybe even skipping school to get some ice cream. We experienced for the first time what it was like to make it to the big time, joining the main campus. And before we knew it, we were halfway done with high school. Junior year brought with it the hope of the elusive VR, the hope that one day we might be over with the struggle. However, that glimpse soon vanished from sight as impending doom of the PSAT drew near, and with it, the long, debilitating Saturday spent in KD. As soon as that struggle was over, bam, the SAT, bam, the ACT, bam, subject tests. As we were still reeling from the shock trying to bandage up, boom, volunteer work, leadership experiences, and the whole college shebang. Junior year was one shock after another, with barely enough time to medkit in between. And by the end, we couldn't take it anymore. We slowly fell behind and got caught in the storm. I'm gonna be frank with you. The majority of senior year was spent in the storm, being assaulted by the second deadliest disease known to man, senioritis. It was a miracle that we ever got through it. Every time I touched my backpack, this sudden and irresistible urge to suddenly watch a new TV show or play one more game of Fortnite led me astray. So instead of doing homework the period before, it became doing homework during passing period. Instead of arriving at school on time, it became the Olympic 100-meter dash to the door before the bell rang. Instead of paying attention in class, it became my second nap time. But senior year also had its fair share of bittersweet moments. Our last homecoming, our last prom, our last chance of seeing Hebron beat Marcus, and our last time suffering through Funny Joke Fridays. Thank God. Thank you, Dr. Hawley, for teaching me that being a doctor is easy. Thank you, Ms. Robichaud, for teaching me that breaking school rules isn't easy. Thank you, Ms. Boyd, for teaching me that lighting a gas lamp on fire isn't the best idea. Trust me, it's not. Thank you, Mr. Woodward, for teaching me that life isn't fair. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for teaching me that hard work is a key to success. And thank you, God, for being there for me. As we are all here now, in the final circle, some with more help than others, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you for taking the risks, standing up, and grabbing the victory royale. However, before the last bit of attention that's tying you to your seats vanishes into thin air, I'd like to give you one piece of advice. Don't be afraid to fail. In this crazy, egocentric world that we live in today, where failure is seen as the ultimate worst and success is seen as everything, it is natural to be scared of failing. Hell, I was scared of failing up here the whole time. Yes, failure sucks. It hurts, and most of all, it destroys your confidence. But it also guides you, teaches you, and makes you stronger. Failure strips away the inessential, the parts of your life that hold you back, and allows you to focus on what's important. So I urge you, class of 2018, to fail, and keep failing. Thank you. And now presenting the spectacular and shining Mr. Finch.
Thank you, Anthony. I think the shining part had to do with my head, but I do appreciate that, Anthony. At this time, I would like to ask the high school staff to take their positions off stage for the presentation of diplomas. Dr. Rogers, I am pleased to present to you the senior class of 2018 for Hebron High School. There are before us more than 850 exceptional seniors. I have verified that each of these seniors have met the requirements of the Texas Education Agency in the Louisville Independent School District and should be awarded the appropriate diploma or certificate at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Finch. To you, the Hebron High School class of 2018, please know that we are very proud of your accomplishments. We look forward to even greater achievements in your future. Mrs. Cox, Mr. Finch has verified these students eligible to receive their diploma or certificate. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the state of Texas and the Louisville Independent School District Board of Trustees, I certify them. Their diplomas or certificates are to be granted at this time. Congratulations.
Anthony Cospa, ready alum. Jonathan Thomas. Ni Juan Pham. Chris William Bedell. Brian Rafiq Musa. Lindsay Jin Yu. David Gonzalez Corson. Alan Fuan Tran. Maximus Hansi Chu. Arpan Devang Patel. Asadali Sheikh. Andre Marcelo Garcia. Nathan David Wise. Andrew Dat Win. Isaac Ginhoy Key. Connor Joseph Aldas Milligan. Rahul Reddy Vina. Cooper William Newman. Hyun Young Kim. Rashul Krish Ravi. Shyam Katam Patel. Malia Ahmad. Debbie Ginny Kim. Am I going too fast? Raymond Chen. Daniel Matthew Chen. Gaines Richard Morrison. Janti Kapoor. Trafina Marie James. Faith Elizabeth McGilvery. Amy Sarah John. Nathan Alexander Lewis. Casey Joanne McFarland. Travis James Harris. Jordan Lane Springer. Alan Mangalathu Jacob. Reshma Liz Karakatil. Akil Matthew. Elodie Angeli Tan. Terrence Sikong Zen. Annabelle Wei. Saba Martuza Contractor. Tammy Tram Lee. Alice Nina Moye Honeyman. Kyra Kalman. Annie Ruth Ketan Ansuri.
Blair McLeod Benbow. Christy Jacob. Ansung Lee. Allison Marie Rutherford. Hannah Nicole Rosenberg. Grant Evan Rainwater. Michael David Beatrice. Jasmine Nelson Johnson. Ethan Krishna Ui. Barath Chator Kaimal. Shilpa Elizabeth Thomas. Mehak Nureddin Panjwani. Tae In Kim. Michael Benny George. Paige Alyssa Freeberg. Andy Jacqueline Brown. Shohana Malik Dutt. Alicia Mahmood Panjwani. Trent Chaz Dreyer. Brent Francis Mejia Ravina. Angeline Tomey. Bennett Woodruff Holly. Amna Yassin. Jack Everett Bedell. Adam Robert Weinstein. Eric Dale Brem. Allison Lindsay Lux. Youngben Lee. Logan Darius Parker. Hannah Elizabeth Matthew. Madison Taylor Green. Sahil Shahjahan Jawani. Tingmin Nu Tan. Mina Monica Kim. Alexandra Yvette Thomas. Miriam Rizvi. Arshia Golnabi. Zarina Rhea Bula. Melissa Shireen Ibrahimi. Anvita Shah. Sefia Khan. Kevin Sam Abraham.
Nabia Abraham. Shally Mary Abraham. Alan Barionex Acevedo Santana. Adijari Isaiah Adenilji Adeli. Nabil Ahmed. Paul Moa Akire. Fernando Alarcón. Joshua John Alexander. Arlie Sabrina Alfaro. Hannah Gabriela Alfonsi Serletic. Saad Ramatullah Ali. Samuel Paul Ali Vernia. Aman Ali Alana. Patrick Philip Allen. Logan Gable Allison. Rebecca Estandian Alvarez. Timothy Kwang Suk An. Joseph Michael Angeloni. Christian Lee Anzaldua. Akrista Royal Jewel Armstrong. David Albert Armstrong. Ian Alexander Armstrong. Quinn Nelson Armstrong. Areli Lisette Arriaga Tejeda. Artur Miroslav Astakov. Adam Grayson Atwood. Amy Elizabeth Atwood. Alexis Bianca Austin. Alexis Aviles. Nasser Maged Awad. Isabella Selena Ayala. Rahil Malik Baharia. Cassie Page Bailey. Braden Elizabeth Baker. Soraya Marie Baker. Jose Angel Balades III. Elena Marie Barnes. Jonathan Anthony Barnes. Zoya Shazad Bashwani. Tristan Ray Bass. Neha Patawala. Cedric Harrison Bates. Fernando Andres Batista. Ellie Claire Batt. Kendrick Keyshawn Dominic Belcher. Diamond Alexia Bell. Emily Carolyn Bell. Jason Derek Beltran. Christian Alejandro Beltran. Annie O'Brien Benbro. Madison Nicole Benedict. Asia Renee Bennett. Cameron Michael Bernstein. Tanisha Yalis Berrios Hernandez. Anna Francesca Berriman. Peyton Alexander Bethke. Jui Prashat Bhagat. Catherine Joel Bias. Alisa Ray Biasadi. China Brishana Biggers. Faba Grace Biji. Jessica Camille Blanco Flores. Alexander Joseph Blomberg. Lauren Catherine Bachniak. Keon Simon Bordbar. Ali Dana Boding. Jason Scott Bowden. Jeremy Ian Bowden. Shane Edward Boyce. Jamaye Martelli Boyd. Zachary Parker Boyd. Matthew Vinicius Breland. Darius Tyree Brewer. Casey Adam Broadway. Megan Taylor Brock. Jordan Victoria Brookings. Caitlin Elizabeth Brooks. Bryce Wayne Brown. Donald James Brown. Emma Catherine Brown. Tyler James Brown. Megan Elizabeth Browning. DePaul Jordan Brownlee. Brandon Bryant. Donovan Dwayne Bryant. Hayden Michael Breyer. Hannah Elizabeth Buell. Wiley Wayne Brogan. Charity Joy Burns.
Viviana Isamare Cadena. Clay Scott Calhoun. Saul Calixto. Sean Henry Lloyd Calloway. Tatiana Andrea Calzado. Alexandra Alicia Camerata. Connor Reed Campbell. Kyra Marnace Canada. Kimberly Georgina Cano. Kaylee Celeste Cano Velasquez. Brianna Lisbeth Cardenas. Taylor Monet Carles. Noelle Monique Carlos. Catherine Nicole Carlson. Nicholas Monroe Carr. Christina Noel Carter. Ian Scott Castillo. Emily Castillo Perez Negron. Erica Leslie Castro. Trenton Andrew Cavett. Nathan Tyler Chase. Jasmine Priya Chauhan. Ethan Chen. Anna Victoria Chenoweth. Neri Mir Chikrith, I'm sorry. Eunice Hayun Cho. Andrea Genju Choi. Charlie Kangmin Choi. Menkyu Choi. Yein Choi. Charles Terry Christian. Chandler Robert Clements. Grace Taylor Colley. Paul Matthew Collins. Casey Noel Cook. Ariane Diaria Copper. Darian Ash Cornett. Joshua Ryan Coria. Kathleen Dixon Costa. Joshua Joseph Cotton. Nicholas Conrad Cox. Samantha Victoria Cox. Sydney Elizabeth Cravens. Christopher McMichael Crawley II. Mackenzie Diane Crutcher Mason. Jessica Brianne Cummings. Patrick Colin Curran. Kelly Julianne Curtin. Kaylin Dang. Tiffany Lee Dang. Julia Elizabeth Daniel. Braden Edward Daniels. Malcolm Malik Daniels. Desiree Kayshan David. Adam Dayani. Anthony James DeFries. Andrew Joseph Deason. Komal Nordin Durrani. Ariana Elise Diaz. Destiny Denise Diaz. Joshua Uriel Diaz. Madison Claire Dick. Allison Era Dillard. Fong Winton Doe. Kayla Renee Dobbs. Sandra Dominic. Jaden Jeremiah Duffy. Ryan Scott Donahue. Hilton Min Duong. Ton Mong Dong. Thomas Tong Dong. Valerie Angelica Duran.
Emery Marcellus Eagles. Carly Marie Ernest. Heather Nicole Eves. Colin John Edwards. Sydney Jordan Edwards. Kennedy Nicole Edwards. Eric Augusto Eichelman. Catherine Germaine Elam. Chloe Giselle Elder. Claire Marie Ellington. Allah Nasser El Cuza. Brianna Hope English. Sophia Raquel Sacalona. Andrio Janae Espino. Anna Kathleen Estes. Carson Allen Evans. Dua Faisal. Ryan Joseph Farcos. Caitlin Bell Farley. Joshua Rex Faulkner. Landon Mark Faulkner. Rachel Marie Fedash. J. Leslie Felix. Matthew Thomas Ferguson. Antonio Manuel Fernandez. Tavion Isaiah Farrell. Dale Brandon Fisher. Peyton Kennedy Fisher. Devin Ray Flores. J.R. Flores. Destiny Keshara Flo. Nicholas Scott Flynn. Julian Bryce Fort. Zaylee Fox. Jolie Ann Fox. Zaylee Fox. Tyra Nicole Francois. Bradley Lewis Franklin. Raven Ophelia Tay Franklin. Zachary Kane Frazier. Skylar Ray Friswald. Alexis Dawn France. Sierra Nicole Gale. Ross Holden Gall. Esmeralda Games. Kennedy Nicole Gamble. Alan Matthew Garcia. Fernanda Michelle Garcia. Nicholas Falcon Garcia. Rigoberto Garcia Jr. Mackenzie Lynn Garcia Hines. Catherine Grace Gardner. Alan Philip Gaitan. Alexis Nicole Getty. Caleb Nick Getty. Madison Lee Gear. Jack Leonard Gennard. Jonathan Kyriakos George. Joshua Alex George. Sneha George. Bryson Douglas German. Blake Cameron German. Braylon Austin German. Sehan S. Jelani. Melina Patrice Giles. Trinidad Giles Rodriguez. Grant Allen Gilly. Noelito Gomez. Corey Michelle Gonzalez. Alice Michelle Gonzalez. Hugo Alfonso Gonzalez. Darian Walter Gooden. Samyuktha Gopinath. Nathaniel Edward Guillory. Alera Shanice Graham. Deontre Kyrie Lucas Graham. Kayla Joy Granberry. Dylan Everett Grant. Noah Benjamin Gray. Michaeli Ronier Grayson. Danielle Sally Green. Jessica Madison Green. Gustavo Grijalva Garcia. Rebecca Catherine Gromish. Joshua Gu. Wyatt Matthew Gary. Brandon Anthony Gus. Daniel Alexander Gutierrez. Alexis David Gutierrez Soriano. Eric Guzman.
Neil Christopher Haas. Sydney Nicole Harrell. Brooke McKenna Hall. Anahita Hanawi. Kirsten Rose Hannafin. Cameron Ul Hawk. Antoine Demond Harper Jr. Catherine Lee Harper. Austin Marshall Harris. Megan Brooke Harris. Haley Rose Harrison. Valerie Michelle Hart. Tiffany Marie Hartley. Kinza Irfan Hassanali. Madeline Claire Hassel. DeCarlos Dwayne Hatcher. Aaliyah Grace Hawkins. Nicholas Allen Herkimer. Diego Hernandez. Jesus Alexis Hernandez Aragones. Maria Areli Hernandez Freire. Sarah Nicole Higdon. Samuel Kenneth Hiley. Caleb Nasir Hill. Paige Evelyn Hill. Christian Woodall Himes. Grace Victoria Hinojosa. Jaden Tajay Akiel Hodo. Travis Gerald Holstrom. Lauren Elizabeth Holsinger. Catherine Marie Hood. Darian Lee Horn. Hunter Horton. Nicole Lorena Huerta. Sonia Alejandra Huerta. Kevin Eduardo Huerta Freire. Charles Landry Huff. Sophia Nicole Hunt. Anthony Dion Hunter Jr. Amna Hussein. Iman Miriam Hussein. Samara Inawan. Braden Richard Ireland. Sheridan Blair Ireland. Grayson Bernard Irving. Caitlin Ann Irving. Awatif Aziz Ismail. Ashley Isaac. Aislinn Renee Jackson. Nicholas Patel Jackson. Kripa Jacob. Brandon Lamar Lewis James. Evan Gregory Jan. Julia Harim Jang. Kristen Nicole Jansen. Donovan Adrian Hasso. Adil Mohammed Jaweed. Alexander Vang Jensen. Karen Nicole Jimenez Diaz. Rocky George Jobs IV. Danny John. Jason Joseph John. Aaron Nicholas Johnson. Andrew Demond Johnson. April Savin Johnson. Darius Laverne Johnson. Jakaya Monet Johnson. Logan Daniel Johnson. Toria Aaliyah Johnson. Gloria Rose Joseph. Pamela Ann Joseph. Nakia Adriana Joyce.
Nina Kang. Inaya Kara. Zain Ali Karim. Erica Nicole Carroll. Matthew Thomas Carroll. Shalini Katuveli. Catherine Elizabeth Kelly. Kyle Howard Kendall. Aaliyah Dawn Colonel. Michael Arthur Kessler. Remy Avery Keys. Richard Abram Keys. Mir Nadia Campbell Khan. Janelle Kang. Alisar Ahmed Kawaja. Colin Thomas Kiesling. Christian Kim. Jung Gun Kim. Hanul Kim. Huiran Kim. Lauren Eugene Kim. Winifred Kim. Wonjung Kim. Cody Kimpton. Austin William Kisam. Trace Michael Canopa. Reagan Francis Kraft. Reed Joseph Kraft. Sierra Shea Kratz. Hannah Seminche Krichkow. Peyton Caprice Krupa. Hui Kwuk Lam. Luke Michael Landa. Madison Lynn Landers. Hunter Matthew Lane. Hunter Kishawn Lane. Allison Emily Lay. Tin Tron Lay. Ryan Matthew Laprelle. Ethan Michael Lee. Grace Ju-un Lee. Sony Min Lee. Lindsay Lana LeMay. David Jeremiah Leonti. Francis Juwita Liam. Samuel Kyum Lim. Cheng Kwang Lin. Megan Hope Daly Lindahl. Andrew Ryan Livesay. Sean Ricardo Livingstone. Valerie Ann Lore. Alexa Marie Lopez. Jessica Lopez. Sofia Cristal Lopez. Kirsten Amaria Lott. Sydney Joel Lott. Jessica Huyi Louis. Jonathan Lozano. Colin Lawrence Lundgren. Stephen Long. Matthew Kenneth Lee. Michaela Danielle Lyons.
Marissa Jane Mahaley. Jalen Nicole Majors. Solomon Rahim Macnogia. Elizabeth Victoria Mannon. Ethan York Marshall. Ashley Michelle Martin. Colin Scott Martin. Justin Pierre Martin. Raul Martinez Jr. Julio Alexis Martinez Munoz. Fatima Anwar Mosroor. Elizabeth Miriam Matthew. Hannah Grace Matthew. Joel Samuel Matthew. Kevin Puthenvintil Matthew. Madison Rachel Matthew. Matthew Sajan Matthew. Emmy Susan Matthews. Faith Elise Mathis. Blake Wharton Mattich. Thomas Vincent May. Isaac Jamal McCullough. James Devin McCann. Miles Reed McCart. Jalen Michael McLeod. Jonathan Matthew McLeod. Jackson Charles McCreary. Alicia Nicole McDaniel. Zoe McDonald. William Dale McCard. Keegan Faith McKee. Verone McKinley III. Kaylin Alicia McKinney. Brina Morgan McKennis. Darian Joseph McClure. Christopher Mejia Olalde. Lauren Elizabeth Meltzer. Ryan Alexis Mendoza. Lauren Lee Merrill. Dallin Mark Marutka. Caitlin Ann Myron. Anusha Mirza. Jaron Lamont Mitchell. Muhammad Ali Mathani. Hannah Grace Mobley. Owais A. Mohammed. Anak Jansi Mohan. Ashik Georgie Mohan. Allison Days Montalvo. Demario Alexander Montez. Naya Kimura Moore. Caleb Thomas Moores. Trinity Sage Morales. Joshua Jared Moses. Danielle Marie Moy Honeyman. Nasir Udin Muhammad. Leslie Elizabeth Mungia. Kaylee Ann Murphy. Mason John Murphy. Courtney Kennard Morel Jr. Shazad Murad Misani. Landon Cole Muzzy.
Bria Danielle Nabaret. Arnav Nair. Alex Ki Nam. Harish Salman Nanji. Salar Shah Salman Nanji. Ariana Riaz Natu. Mohammed Hassan Nayani. Elizabeth Amy Neal. Brian Todd Nelson. Emily Delilah Nelson. Alan Tin Nguyen. Cecilia Truk Win. Cindy Thu Win. Danielle Tony Win. Duke An Huang Win. Julie Hang Win. Christina Ha Huing Win. Lily Hu Win. Long Dui Win. Misty Win. Brian Fong Kao Win. Teresa Win. Zachary Allen Norton. Marjorie Mongina Nyamongo. Kayla Michelle Oden. Sangwook O. Chigozi Okafor. Jacob Thomas Olson. Grace Catherine Orler. Orion Osias Otero. Shade Renee Adesewa Oyedipe. Desiree Ann Pacheco. James Riley Pacinda. Andrew James Pack. Noor Ara Panjwani. Hashi Uday Parekh. Eunice Siren Park. Ji Juan Park. Joy Park. Sinjung Park. Lacey Delane Parker. Trinity Nicole Parker. Carte Tremaine Parks. Chase Thomas Parnell Meadows. Navatej Sai Pati. Trevor Leon Patrick. Roshan Caramel Paul. Darius Wangari Payne. Catherine Elizabeth Pegis. Lindsay Marie Pico. Jose David Perez. Natalia Perez Lopez. Corey Warren Perryman. Alex Minman Pham. Brandon Duquang Pham. Jacob Thin Ming Pham. Jennifer Dim Quinn Pham. Long Jia Phan. Kyra Marie Phelps. Rebecca Rachel Phillips. Shane Thomas Phillips. Tony Karine Phone. Angela Fung. Austin James Pinchback. Nathan Anthony Pintanello. Lauren Gabrielle Pliskow. Jennifer Michaela Poe. Kate Lynn Price. Carson Payne Prince. Jalen Markel Prowl. Daniel Sambat Prum. Alexia Maribel Pullen. Rebecca Sarhan Panus. Luis Gustavo Pureco. Sophia Lee Putterbaugh.
Leslie Edith Quintanilla. Camden Trent Rainwater. Sheena Rajan. Christian Skylar Ramirez. Enrique Resendez Ramirez. Katia Paola Ramirez. Nina Nicole Ramirez. Giselle Ramirez Bartolo. Lauren Michelle Ramsey. Matthew Mahendra Ramtahal. Shreya Kamarajaguda Rao. Mason McKaylin Reeves. Abigail Rose Regan. Remia E. Reggie. Kareem Ramani. Caitlin Marie Riley. Bianca Martina Reyes Diaz. Kelsey Elizabeth Reyna. Dallas Tay Richardson. John Philip Ringo. Abby Nadine Reardon. Nicola Ernesto Rivas. Mark Anthony Rivera. Saida Fareen Fatima Rizvi. Brett Michael Robinson. Hunter Glenn Robinson. Micah Nichelle Robinson. Jalen Alexander Robinzine. Colin Jeffrey Robnett. Alec Daniel Rodriguez. Bea Amarielas Rodriguez. Emily Michelle Rodriguez. Jeremiah Alexander Rodriguez. Natalie Criseda Rodriguez. Renee Tatiana Rojas. Andrew Javier Romero. Jonathan Romero. Alexia Renee Rudman. Daniel Aaron Rosas. Simon Francis Christopher Rose. Dane Hunter Rosenbaum. Abigail Lane Rowden. Michaela Cheyenne Rowland. Rima Roy. Trey Alexander Rush. Nolan Gabriel Russell.
Alikan A. Sachedina. Natnari Se-Ung. Monique Sakun. Hania Karim Samnani. Sona Binu Samuel. Karina Nicole Sanchez. Maria Jose Sanchez. Solomon Gil Sanchez. Luna Del Mar Santos Velasquez. Tasha Paige Sawyers. Francis Stephen Schmeling. Justin Thomas Schineman. Parth Segal. Brian Jinwook So. Sumin So. Serena Ravi Shah. Lily Catherine Shearer. Aksha Susan Shibu. Ji Yong Shin. Cole Jonathan Shukla. Christopher Michael Silko. Ariel Hope Silva. Jared Michael Silvas. McKenna Allison Simpson. Peyton Alexis Simpson. Jackson Joseph Sims. Salim Siraj. Brandon Joseph Slate. Jacob George Smith. Jalen Shamar Smith. Megan Christina Smith. Tyara Desnay Smith. Tyler Lloyd Smith. Peyton Elizabeth Snyder. Jaslim Solano. Michaela Marie Saunier. Kim Habsor. Giancarlo Soto Mejia. Paul Arisak Soriyachak. Hasha Cheyenne Spears. Denise Lynn Marie Spencer. Michaela Beretta Danielle Stevens. Sydney Dean Sternberg. Lauren Elizabeth Stevens. Reagan Bailey Stevens. Rebecca Emily Stevens. Kaylin Nicole Stewart. Jamie Marie Stewart. Caleb Noah Stiles. Elijah Nathaniel Story. Daniel James Stubblefield. Aaron Elizabeth Stewie. Ace Suarez. Juan Jeremy Suarez. Nathan Subramaniam. Derek Lee Summerall Jr. Taehui Sun. Madison Taylor Swafford. Reagan Genevieve Swan. Taylor Leanne Swindling.
Amit Taylor. Rachel Lynn Talkington. Brianna Elise Tapley. Jaden Nicole Tate. Jayden Latre Taylor. Paris On a Perfect Taylor. Weston J. Taylor. Matea Marion Terrell. Ethan English Thatcher. Kamish A. Thobani. Alyssa Grace Thomas. Joshua Abraham Thomas. Lydia Thomas. Selects Matthew Thomas. John David Thompson. Larry Darniel Thompson Jr. Jeremy Tuan Thompson Sayon. Jared Michael Timmerman. Brittany Ting. Hui Luang Tran. Jesse Alexander Trevino. Chastity Cachet Renee Trevelyan. Elizabeth Ann Trilovich. Christian Mateo Tucker. John Clayton Toon. Madeline Claire Turner. Noma Janet Ugwa. Jerry Thornton Upshaw. Taylor Ann Yusi. Adrian Venegas Milan. Tori Renee Vaquera. Giselle Vargas Perez. Julian Andrew Vasquez. Samir Veracia. Antonio Benicio Viana. Antonio Alberto Villarreal. Brian Alejandro Villegas. Sarah Jane Vilmer. Noor Amir Virani. Samir Salim Virani. Carly Danielle Vitt. Ariana Oliveros Vo. Min Brandon Dui Vo. Tran Min Vu. Michael Anthony Volpo.
Caroline Elaine Wagner. Christopher Max Wojcierski. DeAndre Javon Warren. Jacob William Watsky. Brooke Emery Weatherford. Catherine Jane Whiter. Camille Dion Westcott. Chaz Quentin West. Riley Catherine Westbrook. Clark Scott Whitaker. Alyssa Rebecca Marie White. Dalton James White. Devin Laquan White. Shelton Alexander White. Sheridan Emma White. Jalen Chastity Witt. Thomas Alexander Wickland. Reagan Ashley Shea Wilkes. Abigail Dawn Williams. Ari Austin Williams. Jalen Malik Williams. Tobias James Williams. Ian Michael Willis. Chevalius Javon Willis. Sarah Allison Ann Wendell. Delphina Wittis Hughes. Nathaniel Thomas Woodhill. Nicholas Zachary Woody. Carolyn Ann Workley. Jeffrey Alexander Worthen. Kylie Brianne Yates. Garrett James Yauk. Hanul Yi. Hung Guk Yu. Jung In Yoon. Ye Un Yu. Mohammed Ali Zain. Isabella Zambrano. Tian Trinity Zapata. Nima Abbas Ziail.
Before we get to our next speaker, if you're a graduate of Hebron High School and you're going to be going into the military, whether it's an academy or enlisting, would you please stand up? Thank you. And thank you for your service to our country. At this time, I'm pleased to welcome another top 20 student in the senior class with closing remarks, who is a member of the Science National Honor Society and a member of the award-winning Hebron High School Band. He's right next to me. Give a hand for Mr. Andre Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Finch, for that introduction. Greetings and congratulations, class of 2018. My name is Andre Garcia, and I'm greatly honored to have the privilege of speaking in front of everyone in this audience on this very significant day. Now, I'll try my best to get us one step closer to getting back to our phones, which I know we have all missed so dearly. We are here today to mark the end of one very significant chapter in our lives and to turn the page to the start of something very new. When I was first given the opportunity to speak at this ceremony, I knew that first and foremost, I would want to thank my parents, siblings, relatives, and friends for the impact that they have had upon my life. After all, each one of us has at least one person who has significantly impacted the journey that has gotten us to this very moment. So thank you, Mom, for always being by my side and for loving me so much. And thank you, Dad, for being a great role model and for all the sacrifices you've made for me. And thank you to everyone else who came out to see me today. But now, As all of us move on towards where our future may take us and away from the various comforts of high school, I would like to humbly offer you all some words of encouragement and advice, which I have learned, perhaps the hard way, during my years at Hebron. High school has given each of us a place of friendship, thought-provoking classrooms, a safety net, teachers that care, and a multitude of clubs and organizations to which we can belong. Personally, these comforts manifested themselves in my life through classes such as Mr. Zuber's A-Push class and Mr. Horton's Spanish class, which are both challenging and fulfilling. Also, through life lessons I learned from band that I will take on with me forever. And lastly, through friends who I know I will continue checking up on and visiting, even while I'm at Georgia Tech and they're here still at Texas, at UT or A&M, or even across the country, at Oklahoma, Rhode Island, or even Boston. However, this safety net will not last forever. As we go on to a new journey, I urge each of you to seek out meaningful, life-giving relationships. Do not miss the opportunity to take advantage of what your future has to offer. Be resilient and determined in all of your future pursuits. As we get ready to turn the page on this stage in life, we must reflect on both our accomplishments and our challenges, which we have faced so that we may grow in pursuit of greatness which is within each and every one of us. As I look out to all of you, I see over 850 graduates, each having a talent or gift which will help advance and better humanity. From doctors to lawyers, welders, military men and women, engineers, businessmen, or musicians, I see a class which will make a great impact upon the world. Thank you. Now please welcome the devoted Chris Bedell, the enthusiastic Ryan Musa, and the charismatic Lindsay Yu to the stage.
Thank you, Andre. As my friend mentioned, I'm Lindsay Yu.
I'm Chris Bedell.
And I'm Ryan Musa. And I invite the choir to take their place on the risers.
Today, it is our privilege to speak about the alma mater and the turning of the tassels.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I, having taken a whole 2 semesters of Latin, would like to take a moment to tell you what exactly the phrase alma mater means. Translated literally, alma mater means nurturing mother. And Ms. Herring, I promise I remember you telling me that. Much as we often take the time to tell our own mothers how much we love them and appreciate everything they do for us, we use the words alma mater to describe Hebron High School in order for us to recognize all the ways in which our school has nurtured us and grown us over the last 4 years.
But today, class of 2018, we ask you to not only focus on the way in which Hebron High School has nurtured you, but on all those who have played integral parts of your success through your last 4 years.
We ask you to remember all of your teachers, coaches, and directors who have taught you what you get is what you put in.
We ask you to remember your parents who have sacrificed so much so that you may be sitting here today.
We ask you to remember your siblings who, while on occasion bothersome, have always been and will always be loyal to you through all of life's ups and downs.
We ask you to remember your friends who have stuck with you through trials and triumphs and have helped you make unforgettable memories.
Lastly, we ask you to remember any and all of those who were by your side every step of the way, those who supported and loved you no matter the circumstances.
Graduates, as we begin to go out to the places we will be from, we must never forget the cherished people who have impacted us. We should thank God for the love shown to us by our teachers, families, and friends. And we should one day hope to show all people that same love.
We are now ready for the next chapter in our lives, but we will always come to remember our experiences as a Hebron Hawk.
With that, will the class of 2018 please stand? Please wait to throw your cap until Mr. Finch finishes talking.
As a symbolic gesture of our completion of high school, graduates, you may now turn your tassels from right to left.
Congratulations! We are now official graduates of Hebron High School.
Please
And for the last time, back to you, Mr. Finch.
Nice job, Chris, Lindsay, and Ryan. We really appreciate that. Hold on to those hats for a few more minutes. We're going to throw them here in a second. But I do want to say some parting remarks before you get out of here. Let's make this quick before the restaurants close. 16 senior classes have come before you. Since I've been here, each senior class exceeds the accomplishments of the previous senior class, and so it is with you as well. Every class is like a son and a daughter. You love them all sometimes, but a sibling in this case outshines the others, and that's you. Your class has offered over $13 million in scholarships. I'm not even sure how many zeros that is. And your success in academics, community service, fine arts, and athletics is extraordinary. As an example of your success this year, you were state champions in volleyball for the third time, a first for the school, and extremely rare to do in the state of Texas. You have been a part of 4 state championships, girls cross country when you were a freshman, and this year, silver medalist in cross country at state. We mentioned volleyball's won three years in a row the state championship. You have been a part of 2 silver medal finishes in UIL marching band contest, and you were a part of Bands of America's Grand National Finals, where you earned the bronze medal the first time you went there. And not to mention the silver medals that you've won down in San Antonio as a part of Bands of America as well. Your class was a part of the only Hebron choir to be invited to perform on the main stage at Texas Music Educators Association, as well as this year you performed at SWACTA in Oklahoma. And don't forget about theater and their bronze medal last year in UIL one-act play. We also need to pay respect to those that we're not recognizing. Those are all the teams and groups that won district, that made it to the playoffs. The accolades are just too many to enumerate with the time we have left. But perhaps there's a better indicator of overall performance of a school than the state's UIL Lone Star Cup. It's a measure of academics, fine arts, and athletics. As I speak, and out of over 250 and 6A high schools in the state, you will finish in the top 20 for the 5th year in a row out of 250 schools. How about a hand for that? The state wants to measure schools by A through F category, but there's nothing that can equate to that in what you have done here at Hebron High School. No class has spent more hours serving its community than you. Your outpouring of love and donations for students and staff who have lost their homes to fire, tornadoes, or even the loss of one of your friends or family members, and even recently this year, the loss of one of our teachers, Mr. Tim Pallone. But perhaps your most successful quality has been your loyalty and friendship with each other. Because of the camaraderie you created, you were great, and you made Hebron High School great and a force to be reckoned with. Though today is a joyous occasion, I sense you may have some apprehension for what lies ahead, and I'm telling you as your principal, you will be fine if you do 2 things for me. Number 1 is turn the page and start the new chapter in your life. I've seen it too often. Don't stay trapped in the life of high school. Don't do it. Turn the page. You've already turned the page before. Do you remember that? Do you remember when you went to kindergarten? Do you remember when you went to 6th grade and middle school? Do you remember when you showed up at the 9th grade campus and then eventually the main campus? You've done this before. It's nothing new to you. But most importantly, starting a new chapter allows you the chance to start a brand new chapter, to put away those past mistakes you've made, to make new friends, and to take the opportunity to be that person you really want to be. That's what turning the chapter allows for you. Number 2 is to be independent. Your parents and I, for a while now, have been teaming up behind your back to make you independent, haven't we, parents? We all agree, and follow me on this thinking here, so if you can stay with me. We all agree it's time for you to leave the nest of high school and home. Don't get us wrong, we love you, but it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. Are you following me? Okay. Besides, your parents are tired and they need the rest, especially if you're the last and youngest. They definitely need their rest. Appreciate that amen from the parents. But more than their desire for you to be independent, they have longed to see you soar and be successful after high school. Being independent is where that success starts. So remember, turn the page and start that new chapter in your life and be independent. Lastly, since your teachers, coaches, and sponsors have given you much, much will be expected of you. Do you think they spent all that time teaching you, coaching you, and directing you for you not to succeed? If you think otherwise, you're sorely mistaken. It is also my hope that our school's motto will resonate in your life when those days become difficult, and they will, that you'll accept nothing less than success, our school motto. The staff of Hebron High School and I wish you the best. Be careful out there. Come back and see us, and let us know of the great things you're doing. Congratulations to you, Hebron High School's graduating class of 2018. You may now throw your caps. Teachers and ushers, we may now begin the recessional. Teacher leaders, we can now start the recessional. Thank you, parents, families, and friends. Be careful going home, and have a good evening. Thank you. Do you still want to do the alma mater? Hold up. Wait. Come back and see us.
go.